Hey everybody, I've had the idea for this video for quite a while, and with me being off this week from work, I just decided what the heck, I'll go for it. Originally it was going to be the top 10 non-T206 in my collection, but I just kind of decided that that's not really how I look at my collection. I don't like want to rank the values of these cards or whatever, and it ended up being, I think, 12 cards. So yeah, this is just going to be 12 really cool cards that aren't T206 in my collection that I wanted to share with everybody. So yeah, let me just get right into it. First up, this is an E95 Ed Seacott. I just love this card. Love the uniform, the collar, the laced up uniform, and the sock. It's just an awesome card. Thank you to Drew, Lefty NDV10, for the push on this one. This is just a beautiful copy. Little bit of staining right here, but for a caramel card, this is actually a very clean example. So absolutely love this card. I'm so happy to have it. Definitely one of my favorite non-Giants cards in my collection. Next up, this is a card that I'm just really happy to own. You're not going to see one like this every day. This is a 1908 to 1909 Rose Company postcard of Hooks Wiltse, one of my favorite players on the Giants from this era. He was my first ever T206 that I bought many years ago, and so yeah, I've just always had an affinity for him. These are really cool postcards. Great actual photograph in there, and then you can see kind of on the back the embossing, the players down there, the base paths, and the frame. Just a very cool classic design, and this is one that I always wanted an example from, and I'm just happy to have it. I think I got that one in Heritage. They had a huge collection consigned to them of the Rose Company postcards, and I think I got that one cheap because of it. There were just so many in the auction, so just super happy to own one. So that is the Rose Company postcard. Next up, this is a T200 Fatima of the New York Nationals. Which, as many of you know, I am a Giants fan, so had to get this card. This has a lot of great players. Number one, right there, Christy Mathewson, and then, let's see, where's our guy? There's Jim Thorpe, right here, one of the all-time best athletes, sitting next to my favorite player, Larry Doyle. So, just a really great card. These cards are incredibly fragile. They're made of like a photo paper, so let's see if I can catch some of the condition stuff going on there. But when you're just looking at the card face on without any glare, this is a great looking example. A lot of these don't have the same dark color. This one has just incredible contrast. So really happy to have that example. T200. Let's see. Next up, E93 of Rube Waddell, one of the all-time great stories in baseball history. Incredible player, incredible human. Very interesting. You're going to see another E93 later. This is a great-looking 1.5. Has a little bit of writing down there. This was in a PSA 3 mark holder. I got it back in the at the 2019 National, and decided to cross it over. Whether or not that was wise, I don't know, but I like it better in my collection in an SGC holder. So yeah, it's worth your time to look into Rube Waddell if you're not familiar. So just love this card, love the pose, great color. There we go. Next up, this is a card that just recently caught fire. This is a 1929 Churchman Cigarettes Baseball USA. Very clearly Babe Ruth there. This card's not in the best shape, but I basically got it for free. It was hidden in an eBay lot, and I sold off the other cards and got to keep this one. So For a while, I thought this was going to be my Babe Ruth in my collection. I do really like it. I'd love to upgrade this one eventually, but it's just hard to beat the price that I got it for. I also am collecting just like generic baseball cards from other countries, basically. And maybe I'll get into that in another video, but this kind of fits both those. This has the same image as a Japanese postcard that lists Babe Ruth, and I mean, it's very clearly him. So yeah, it's just a cool card. This card has gotten a lot more expensive in the last, like, I would say, year and a half. Next up, I got this one from fellow YouTuber, Nuff Said Cards. Just a gorgeous card. It was for sale in a Facebook group that we're both in, and I really thought about it, and it sold, and I was super bummed, and I was like, you know, I've been wanting one that has, you know, nice centering, great color, all that, and I just hesitated and missed out. And then I found out that, almost said your name, I don't remember if that's out there, Nuff Said Cards was the one who bought it, and he was looking to sell it just by coincidence, and I didn't hesitate the second time. So anyway, I absolutely love this card. It's one I've always been wanting. Just a great portrait of a great home run hitter, looking very intense. Mel Ott. I do have his other 33 Gaudy, but it's a little lower grade. So anyway, this one makes this video. Maybe you'll see the other one in another video. Not really sure. Next up, this is the other E93 I was talking about. This is of Cy Young. I've always wanted this card as well. Just a fun one with him hitting. For whatever reason, they chose to have him hitting on this card, and I've always found it funny. So I bought this one raw on Net 54, and I was really happy to have it graded 2.5. It's a great looking card. This one has also jumped up quite a bit in value. So just a fun one. Really unique color in the background, and yeah, just a classic photo. Next up, this is another Babe Ruth card. Unfortunately, the previous owner really mistreated this slab, and it is cracking at the top, and it's scratched all over. So I will eventually be getting this one reholdered. I'm kind of waiting to see if they run a sale, but it's bothering me more and more. And so I probably will just end up sending it in. But yeah, this is a 1932 Sinella Babe Ruth. This is a German card, if you don't know. Margarine. But yeah, just a cool Babe Ruth card, and it actually says Babe Ruth on it, unlike the other one. So just with the prices of Babe Ruth cards now, I think that I'll be satisfied with those two cards, even if some people don't count them. But yeah, I'm just really happy to have... Let me see if I can pull out the other one. Here we go. Happy to have both those examples of Babe Ruth. Very cool cards there. Next up, this was a big purchase for me at the time, but I just really knew that this is a card that was going to make a big jump, and it has. And so I probably wouldn't buy this now, but I'm so happy about it when I did. E95 Eddie Plank. Eddie Plank, great pitcher, Hall of Famer, obviously. And for those of you who know the T206 set, you know his card is incredibly scarce. And so I knew I would never get a T206, and this is based off the same photograph. So yeah, not the best two, but... overall eye appeal is pretty nice with the registration color. Fairly well centered, but obviously a lot of creases happening there. But I really love this card. So very cool. E95 Eddie Plank. Next up, this is a T205 of Christy Mathewson. Really great looking card. Little bit of registration issue, but the gold borders, the centering, the color, and everything is just spectacular on this card.
Got this one from Mike Armstrong here on YouTube. Thank you, Mike. Pretty clean back, a little bit of staining happening in the back, but yeah, just a gorgeous example of this card. Very happy to own it. I have the whole T205 team set that I'll share someday. If I haven't already, I'll have to go back and look, but a few other Hall of Famers in there as well. John McGraw, Rube Marquard, and some other short prints. So yeah, if I haven't done a video on that, maybe I'll do that down the road. So next up, let me take this out of this is a super old Superior Fit sleeve. It's all grimed up. This is I think the oldest baseball card in my collection. Debatably on the next one, I'm not really sure, but anyway, this is an 1888 Goodwin Champions N162 of Hall of Famer Tim Keefe. I remember always wanting this card when I was younger, and it just seemed like really out of reach. And then one day I looked up the N162 Tim Keefe, and I remember this one was ending in like 5 minutes, and it seemed like it was cheap, and I put a bid in on it thinking it was gonna like jump up like all eBay auctions do, and it didn't, and I won it, and it was like the most I had ever spent on a card at the time. And I remember panicking a little bit because it was a lot of money. But yeah, just the eye appeal on this one. You can see it's got some wrinkles running through it, but overall, again, like I've said, when you're just looking at the card, especially with the age of it, the wrinkles are really well hidden, and just this card is just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. It's been one of my favorites in my collection overall for a long time, and probably will remain there. So yeah, Tim Keefe, N162 Goodwin Champions. Really nice looking card. Let me get a nice close up of the back here. Nice close up of the front. Gorgeous, gorgeous card. So next up, I've never shown this one on YouTube before. Very few people have seen it from YouTube. I actually got it at a card show. I was hanging out with Nate, Aaron Davis, Nate Tops 85 401, for those of you who don't know, which I don't think there's very many of you that know my channel that don't know Nate. But yeah, Aaron Davis was there, and Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards. Yeah, we were all at the show, and I was kind of off on my own a little bit. I ran across this table that was just in the middle of the show, that had this card for what I thought was an amazing price. And they also had an E90-1 Eddie Plank that was an amazing price. And I negotiated and bought both of those, and I sold the Eddie Plank for a good bit more than I paid for it, and got this one for an even better price. This is a card I just never thought I would own. N28 Allen and Ginter, Adrian C. Anson, also known as Cap Anson. Just a classic baseball card of one of baseball's first stars. Really gorgeous. I really don't understand what was happening at the card show. This one was priced. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it. It was too long ago, and I'm just not super. That's not why I collect cards, so I don't remember, sadly. But because I know you guys like to hear about it. But yeah, it was priced for well under what it sold for at auction last time, and the card had actually like gone up in value since then. So just an amazing deal. So PSA 1.5 of a card, like I said, that I thought I would never own. It has a really clean front for the most part, in my opinion. Again, for the age, it does have some grime, but it's still all there on the front. Just a really nice looking card. The back is kind of what brings the grade down, stained up, but everything's readable. It's all there. I couldn't ask for a better copy, especially for what I paid. So yeah, just a really, really cool card. I love cards with mustaches, so maybe that's why I saved these two for last. Anyway, a couple late 19th century cards to close us out here. I hope you guys liked that video. Yeah, like I said, I've just been busy with life, still collecting cards, but at a much slower pace than when I collected the T206 set. Yeah, just taking it easy. 1913 ZNet Leard, honorable mention in here. Been after that one for a while. Figured I'd share it at the end, but yeah, anyway. I hope everyone has a great holiday season. I don't know when I may make another video, but I appreciate you watching this one. And yeah, just thanks. All right. Bye, everybody.